Chapter 33 Drag Monsters, Mass Kill, Instant Boss at Night. Lin Moyu entered the dungeon for the fourth time. This time, the number of skeleton warriors has increased to 76. After clearing the level for the first 3 times, he already knows this copy like the back of his hand. After entering the dungeon, a brand new idea popped up in my heart. You can try it. If feasible, it can be used in other dungeons in the future. Thinking of it and doing it, all the skeleton warriors rushed into the mine like a tide. A large number of monsters in the mine were attracted by the skeleton warriors, but the skeleton warriors did not fight them, but kept running to the depths of the dungeon. So a strange scene was formed in the dungeon. A large number of skeleton warriors ran in front, followed by a large number of goblin monsters. Behind the goblin monster, there is also Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was also running, following behind the teen with a smile on his face. After the skeleton warrior reaches the bronze level, the limit distance between the skeleton warrior and him has been increased to 1,000 meters. He just needs to stay within 1,000 meters. With nearly 100 monsters in the mine tunnel, they ran all the way to the Mine Wolf King. The arrival of the skeleton warrior also awakened the Mine Wolf King. The Mine Wolf King started to attack the skeleton warriors, but the skeleton warriors ignored it. Wait until all the monsters behind have chased them over. Under the command of Lin Moyu, the scope of the skeleton warriors' activities has become smaller and smaller. The range of monsters is also getting smaller and smaller, and these monsters are gathered together. At this time, the figure of Lin Moyu had appeared at the entrance of the mine. The skeleton warrior suddenly launched an attack, instantly killing one of the goblin mine guards. Then the body was thrown high. The corpse exploded. Lin Moyu, who had been waiting for a long time, activated his skill and detonated the corpse. There was a loud bang. The entire mine was shaking, and countless gravels fell from the rock wall. Cobran mine guards fell in pieces. In Lin Moran's place, various reminders began to flash again. There are too many reminders to read, and Lin Moyu has no time to read them. A large number of new corpses have been produced, and he has continuously used corpse explosion for 10 times in a row. 10 times of huge roars, the ground of the dungeon was forcibly cut off a layer. The Mine Wolf King didn't escape back to the passage this time, and died directly in the body explosion. At this time, the iron gate in the passage was opened, and a large number of mine wolves ran out. Only then did Lin Moyu understand that these gates would open automatically without the need for the Mine Wolf King to run back and call. Go on, pull them all into the mine. Lin Moyu gave an order, and the skeleton warrior ran towards the mine again. What's in the mine? Except for some goblin monsters, then there is only the Goblin King. The skeleton warrior dragged hundreds of mine wolves and ran in without hesitation. Lin Moyu followed behind. At this moment, he was emitting an upgraded radiance. The wave of group monster bombing just now made him reach level 14. And now, it was only 5 minutes before he entered the instance. This speed is so fast that it is unimaginable. The skeleton warriors ran down the passage of the mine pit, attracting all the monsters in the pit. When they reached the bottom of the mine, there were already more than 200 monsters following the team. Goblin monsters, mine wolves, huddled together. The Goblin King gradually woke up, his eyes full of doubts. What the hell is this? I am coming again. Lin Moyu has also gone down. The skeleton warrior stopped running and began to fight back. Furious blow. Red lights up on the broadsword, swinging skills. With a scream, a fierce mine wolf instantly took shape. The corpse flew up and exploded in the air. The corpse exploded. Boom! Boom! The roar continued, almost blowing the mine down. The experience value rose rapidly. A dizzying array of tips. Lots of material items go into backpacks. The King of Goblins who just woke up and hasn't even stood up yet. In a dozen consecutive corpse burst attacks, he fell to the ground with a crash. This time it was worse than the previous few times, but it also died more simply. Even if there is pain, it only takes a few seconds. Looking at the unwilling Goblin King, Lin Moyu sighed softly. I won't come again 3 times. The implication is that you have to die 3 more times. Anyway, you're used to dying. People come to kill you every day. Kill the King of Goblins, experience plus 40,000, obtain a bronze-level weapon, the Staff of the Goblin King. Obtain a low-level monster crystal nucleus. Goblin King's Staff, bronze level, spirit plus 10, constitution plus 10, mage type skills increased by 3%, available after level 12. I looked at my own experience, 60% at level 14. Next time you come in, you can reach level 15. After reaching level 15, the experience requirement will increase again. Lift at least 2 to 3 times. Calculating the time, I can come in 3 more times at most, and I should be able to reach level 16 without any accidents. However, it depends on the experience requirements after level 15. At this time, the usual bustle has resumed outside the dungeon. The number of people is a little less than before, and the group of people has also changed. Lin Moyu didn't see a familiar face at a glance. He heard from other people's conversations that the Dynasty Guild had come. Obviously, the Dynasty Guild didn't get any useful information. Lin Moyu did not stay away this time, but found a secluded place to meditate. 4 more skeleton fighters have been added, and the number has reached 76. The 4-dimensional attribute of each skeleton warrior is as high as 4,600, which is higher than that of the nightmare-level dungeon boss Goblin King. The only downside is that the skills are not strong enough. It's not like the Goblin King has a super lethal skill like Flame Spray. Lin Moyu, who was meditating, suddenly received a message from the skeleton warrior. Someone is approaching. Chapter 34. Why can you ignore cooldown time? How old are you? Hearing a familiar voice, he opened his eyes and saw Xia Shui. There was a touch of dust on Xia Shui's delicate face, and there was a surge of elemental breath on her body. Obviously just experienced the battle, she just came out of the copy. She stared at Lin Moyu with dissatisfaction on her face. Lin Moyu said calmly, level 14. What? Xia Shui screamed, how could you be so fast? She teamed up with others and brushed the normal difficulty of the Shihai Mine dungeon twice in a row, rising from level 10 to level 11. 2 copies in a row had exhausted her. Even if Lin Moyu can brush the instance alone, it is impossible for him to upgrade so quickly. No matter what, Xia Shui could never have imagined that Lin Moyu was playing on nightmare difficulty. Lin Moyu did not continue to answer Xia Shui. Believe it or not. Based on Xia Shui's understanding of Lin Moyu, she knew that Lin Moyu would not talk nonsense. Since he said level 14, it must be level 14. The dissatisfaction in Xia Shui's eyes became more and more intense. The higher the level, the slower the upgrade. On the first day of the novice dungeon, I am level 5 and Lin Moyu is level 7. 2 levels off. Logically speaking, the distance should be shortened now. Why is it that I am only level 11, but Lin Moyu is level 14, which increases the distance? Xia Shui snorted, I won't admit defeat. With that she turned and left. Lin Moyu looked at her, not knowing what to say. In the past few years, I have always held Xia Shui down. Before changing jobs, he had always been the first in all subjects, and Xia Zuwanian was the second child. After the job change, his level rose all the way, leaving Xia Shui behind again. Lin Moyu also understood that Xia Shui was still unconvinced and wanted to fight with herself. This is always the case whether it is before or after a job change. But I never gave her a chance. Suddenly he saw Xia Shui and a few people entering the dungeon. Strange, didn't she just come out? How did you get in again so quickly? Why doesn't the dungeon have a cooling time? Lin Moyu saw something incredible. He has tried whether it is normal difficulty or nightmare difficulty, the dungeon has a cooldown time. And both are common. After clearing the nightmare difficulty, he also couldn't enter the normal difficulty within 12 hours. But how could Xia Shui get in again so quickly? Lin Moyu is sure that Xia Shui just came out of the dungeon not long ago. The fighting breath on her body still exists and has not completely subsided. And there is the breath of the Goblin King. This can't be fooled. While Lin Moyu was meditating, he let the skeleton warriors observe. 2 hours later, Xia Shui's figure reappeared at the entrance of the dungeon. She completed a dungeon. After coming out of the dungeon, Xia Shui didn't forget to turn her head to look at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu saw exhaustion from her expression. It is the overdraft caused by the continuous battle. In just 10 minutes, Xia Shui found another team and entered the instance again. Lin Moyu found that she seemed to use a prop before she entered the instance. At that time, there was a glimmer of light on her body. Lin Moyu guessed that it was this prop that made Xia Shui ignore the cooling time of the copy. If you have a chance, you can ask. Lin Moyu thought in his heart and re-entered the state of meditation. Mental strength gradually recovered. As the level gets higher and higher, the attribute of mental power is also highlighted. Now his basic mental power has reached 700, far exceeding other attributes. This is also the characteristic of the mage profession, with extremely high mental power. In exchange for other attributes are extremely poor. There is no balance. Every profession has its own characteristics, which Lin Moyu chooses to accept. A few hours later, the sound of slightly heavy footsteps sounded in my ears. Xia Shui walked to Lin Moyu and sat down beside Lin Moyu with exhaustion all over her body. Even if there's no cooling time limit, it is impossible for her to brush copies continuously. The body is overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. Xia Shui collapsed on the ground without any image. She is not afraid of the skeleton warriors beside Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu is also her classmate, so there is nothing to be afraid of. After resting for a while, Xia Shui recovered a little bit of energy. My lady is already level 12, and I will catch up with you soon. At level 12, if you team up with a normal dungeon, you need at least 3 to 4 times to upgrade to a level. It is difficult to catch up with him. Lin Moyu looked at the exhausted Xia Shui. Aren't you tired? Xia Shui snorted. Tired? Why not tired? Miss Ben doesn't want to move a single finger now. Why? Xia Shui looked angry. Why? You still have the face to ask me why. After being suppressed by you for so many years, this lady must surpass you. Just because of this? Lin Moyu didn't expect Xia Shui's resentment to be so heavy. She knew that she would get the first place in a certain exam. Xia Shui looked at the sky. Of course it's more than that. I'm going to be admitted to Xiajing Academy, so you should also be admitted to Xiajing Academy, so you should understand. If you want to take the Xiajing Academy, you need at least level 14, the safe point is level 15, and the safest level is level 16. With a little more than 2 days left, Lin Moyu felt that Xia Shui would only reach level 14 at most, and it would be very difficult to reach level 15. Unless. Lin Moyu whispered, you should go to the nightmare level dungeon, so that the upgrade can be faster. Are you kidding? The elite team is not so easy to find. Those elite teams want professionals at level 16 and 17. I'm only level 12. No one wants me. Xia Shui glanced at Lin Moyu, as if to say, do you understand or not? Looking at the elite team waving flags and shouting for important people at the entrance of the dungeon, in addition to requirements for level occupations, they also have requirements for equipment. Unless you are a wet nurse, the requirements can be lowered appropriately. An output class like Xia Shui has the highest requirements. Seeing that Lin Moyu didn't speak, Xia Shui said to herself, that's why, I'd better do a few more normal level dungeons. Level 14 should be fine, and maybe level 15 is possible with a bit of effort. Listening to her words, Lin Moyu finally asked, why can you ignore the cooling time?